conference will now be recorded.
Welcome back to the Azure Data Factory beginner course by Cloudpandith Trainings. In this session, we are going to build our first real pipeline using the copy activity. So till now, we have understood concepts like ADF architecture, pipelines, and activities. In this video, we will apply these concepts in a real-time data ingestion scenario. So this session is very important because copy activity is used in almost every ADF project. In this video, we will learn like a real-time ingestion scenarios, why copy activity is important in ADF projects, and will be doing the hands-on lab to understand how you can able to use the copy activity to move data from one source to another source. Like a second one, you can call it as a sink instead of source. So where we are in the course, if you look at in class 1, we discussed what is Azure Data Factory and why it is required. In class 2, we learned about ADF architecture and its core components. In class 3, we created Azure Data Factory instance. In class 4, we clearly understood pipelines and activities. So now in class 5, we are combining everything to create a real working pipeline. Let us now understand today's use case. So we are working on a simple but real-time data ingestion scenario. So our source is going to be Azure Blob Storage, where like files are already stored. And our destination system is also called a sink, which is nothing but again a blob storage. So we will use the copy activity in ADF to move data from source to sink. Firstly, let's understand what is Azure Blob Storage. So Azure Blob Storage is an object storage service provided by the Azure. It is mainly used to store unstructured data in the form of files. Example of files stored in blob storage includes CSV, JSON, images, logs, and so on. It is not that you cannot store structured data. Yes, you can store structured, semi-structured data, but blob storage is most commonly used for storing unstructured data. So if you look at the hierarchy, the blob storage is organized in 3 levels. At the top level, we have a storage account. You can see here, top level, we have a storage account. Inside the storage account, we create a containers. You can see inside a storage account, we create a containers. Inside containers, we store a blobs, which are the actual files. So the files which we are storing in blob is called a blobs. Okay, the files which are storing in a blob storage is called a blobs. So in Azure Data Factory projects, so blob storage is commonly used as a both source and a sink. Right? So you can think of Azure Blob Storage as a folder system available in the cloud storage. Let's move on to the next slide. So why do we need data ingestion pipeline? So in real world projects, data is generated in a different systems. These systems may include applications, databases, or storage services. So our analytical tools cannot directly read data from all these sources directly. So we need a reliable automated way to move this particular data from multiple source systems into a single storage. So this process of moving data from multiple sources to a target is called a data ingestion. So Azure Data, like who is going to help us to do this? So Azure Data Factory help us automate and orchestrate this particular data ingestion process team. Okay, so now we clearly understood why do we need data ingestion pipeline. So let's understand why copy activity is important. So remember, Tim, copy activity is one of the most important activity in Azure Data Factory. It is used in almost every data ingestion pipeline, used in every ADF project. So copy activity is usually the first activity implemented in Azure Data Factory project for data ingestion. So the main responsibility is to move data from source systems to the destination system. Okay, what is the main responsibility of the copy activity team? To move data from source systems to the destination system. Without the copy activity, we cannot perform basic data movement. We cannot perform basic data movement without copy activity. So I think we are very good. Let's understand how copy activity works internally if you see. So here you are seeing linked services, whatever you are seeing, this is called a linked services. These linked services defines the connection information to a data stores. See here, this linked service is connecting to source. This linked service is connecting to the destination system. Next, we have a data sets. Data sets defines the structure and the location of the data. So source data set point to the source storage account folder, sync storage account, sync data set point to the sync storage account path. Next, we have a something called copy activity. So copy activity uses this linked services and the data sets to move data from source to destination. So remember this clearly, team. Linked service is for connections. Data set is for structure and path. Copy activity is kind of a data movement engine. It is mainly for movement. Here, Azure Data Factory pipeline is a orchestration tool which tells you when this copy activity has to run, what should happen after copy activity. So all these things we are going to design based on how you design a pipeline, it is going to execute. So let's understand what are the Azure services we have used. Azure Data Factory we are using for orchestration service. Azure Blob Storage we are using for source and sync storages. Implementation steps, if you see, now let us understand the step-by-step implementation team. In phase one, we perform a storage setup. So we create the source blob storage and we will upload the data. Once that is done, then we will create a sync blob storage where data will be copied. This is our first phase. Second phase is we perform Azure Data Factory setup. We create data factory and configurations like configuring the linked services. In phase three, we design the pipeline, like we create a source and sync data sets. We will create a pipeline and we will add the copy activity inside the pipeline. In phase four, we execute the pipeline by debugging and validating the result. Okay, so let's perform the lab now. Let me move on to the lab. Let's do that. So for that, as you know, the step one is phase one is we need to set up the storage account. I am logging into the Azure account. Once you log in into the Azure account, you can search for storage accounts. So once you search for storage account, you can click on create a storage account. So this is my subscription. I am creating a resource group called Cloudpandith iPhone RG. Then storage account name is Cloudpandith source blob. So you can choose any region. Always prefer to choose a nearest location. That is Central India for me. Click review plus create. Click creating. By the time source storage account comes up, I'll open a new tab, portal.azure.com. Again, search for same storage account. Click on create storage account team. So you see same subscription, same resource group. I am giving Cloudpandith sync blob. So same region, maybe let's say you want to move the data from Central India to Australia East storage account. You can just choose this destination blob in different region. Click review plus create. Create it. So now we basically, as part of phase one, we perform the storage setup team. So we create a now source blob and sync blob. So what we need to do is once source blob is ready, you can go to source blob and then click on containers. Here, as I said, we will be organizing these things into the storage account under that containers. Let's create a container called input. Create it. So inside this input container, I am going to upload my data. So you see upload file. It's nothing but uploading the blob. So what I will do is I'll just go to, I have some data sets and then I have some CSV files. I'll just go to credit underscore salary.csv file. So I just uploaded the data. So now with this, we have performed the source storage account. We created a container, we uploaded the data. If you go to sync blob, now open the sync blob, come down, go to containers, then click on add container. You can create your output. So with this, we completed the setting up of our storage account. Now let's perform the Azure Data Factory setup. For that, open a third tab, go to Azure Data Factory. If you know some of these things, feel free to skip that part and directly see whatever you don't know. So search for Data Factory here, then click on Create Data Factory. So resource group is, this is the resource group. Name of the data factory is, I'll say Cloudpandith iPhone, YouTube iPhone, ADF workspace. Click review plus create. Let's create it. So let's wait for less than 30 seconds. It will take to create the Azure Data Factory. Let's wait for a few seconds. Once Azure Data Factory is available, so we will create two linked services. Okay, see now Data Factory is ready. Now you refresh it here, it will not be available sometimes here. It will take few minutes. If it is not coming up, it's okay. What you can do is you search for data factories. Use here YouTube iPhone ADF workspace. Click on Launch Studio. Now data factory workspace is opening team. As you know, we want to, what we wanted to do is we want to set up the configure the two linked services. So here you go to manage tab in ADF. You see we have author, monitor, manage. Manage is very important. So let's go to manage tab to create a two linked services. Click on linked service, new linked service. So I'm searching for blob. Go to blob storage. Naming convention as per the standard ls for blob, which is a source. Subscription is this source blob. Test connection. Create it. Similarly, click on new linked service. Again, blob storage. Click continue. ls for blob sync blob. Subscription is this. Storage account name is sync blob. Test the connection team. Can create it. We will discuss like how to configure each point which we have in the linked service. We'll discuss in the upcoming sessions. So now we completed phase two also, performing the ADF setup where we created ADF and configure the linked service. Now let's design the pipeline. So directly create a pipeline, new pipeline. So within this pipeline, what we wanted to do is I want to copy the data. So directly I'll bring the data into the pipeline. Then you see copy activity says two things. One is what is your source? So let's click on new. My source is the blob storage. I'll select blob. Then I have a CSV file in my source. I'll select it. I'll say here DS for blob, which is a source. This is a data set for blob, source blob. So to read the data, you need to select the linked service. I have selected linked service. Now you browse and select your container. Inside your container, one file is there. Select that file, click OK. So now we selected what it has to extract from source. Now I am going to the sink. I am going to tell where it has to store. For that, click on new data set. For again, sink is also blob. Select blob. As a CSV only, I want to copy, select blob, CSV. DS for blob for sink. Linked services sink. So here you have to choose your output folder. This is your output folder. Click OK. Click OK. Now it is very clear from source you are taking the CSV file from source path and you are copying into the sink path. What is your source path and what is your sink path? If you want to know, you open source data set, go back to pipeline, go to sink, open sink data set. It will tell you. If you go to source, it is clearly says inside input container we are selecting this file. Sink side we are selecting output folder, so the data will load into output folder. Now we design the pipeline. The final step is now we execute the pipeline by simply debugging. Here you see something called debugging. You can click on debugging option to run this particular pipeline. Inside pipeline we have a activity. Activity will do the actual work. Pipeline is not really processing the data team. Pipeline is just orchestration. It is just orchestrating the things, but actual things will be done by copy activity. This is what the point that I was telling from the beginning. Since last 5 sessions I am emphasizing. I was just telling about that point. Okay, now if you see one file it is reading, one file it is writing into target. If you go to sync blob, now go inside output folder. Now you can see the file is arrived here, right team? So in the next session team, what we are going to do is in our next session we will focus on Azure Data Factory cost. We will understand how pipeline execution is charged. We will also learn different techniques to reduce and optimize ADF cost. So today, just to reinforce today learning, please attempt the MCQs provided for the session team. The passing score is 4 out of 5. Today, I'm going to show you only 5 MCQs. So you need to just get at least 4 questions should be right to say that like it's kind of a passing score. If your score is less than 4, rewatch the video and repeat the lab theme. So practicing hands-on lab is the best way to master Azure Data Factory. So if you want to join our WhatsApp or Telegram group, the links are given in the description. I request all of you to like, share and subscribe. Along with that, share your scores in the comment section. Thank you.